Hi, it's Abith, showing my face. Actually, I'm going to show more than my face. I don't mean that in a bad way, but you're going to see the healing process that I've been through. I mean, you can probably already tell I'm shaking my leg right now. And so my whole body is shaking. I had a feeling to share a little bit more openly what this looks like that I've been going through for 6 months. And it morphs and it changes, and it's actually better now than it was. But you're going to see spasms in my neck and my head, my shoulder, yeah, everywhere. But it's really focused around here. This is what it looks like to heal from motor conflicts. They're called motor conflicts. And I'm healing from not one, but many compiled on top of each other. I had a feeling to maybe share, let you see, whoever you are. And then finally I opened Telegram not too long ago. I'm not on there very much anymore. I just don't pay attention to social media very much right now. And I saw a post in the channel from a friend of mine, an emotional manifesting generator, and she was talking about projectors, and she mentioned what I shared about something I went through in 2020 with fainting, losing consciousness, dealing with the scary part of that, and then dealing with of feeling really alone. Well, actually, this healing has to do with that fall in 2020 and other times that I hit my head. And sexual traumas. I'll just say it like that. It's things compiled on top of each other where the biological reaction for me was what's called a motor conflict. The best way to explain a motor conflict is if you think about, if you can visualize like an animal that is hunted by lions or something. So if you imagine, you may have seen films or videos of this before, like an impala or gazelle or whatever that animal might be, running away from a lion and then being caught and then plays dead. That playing dead is actually the motor conflict. It's the biological psyche is overwhelmed by that moment, and basically it's like I'm not fast enough to get away is the conflict. I'm not fast enough to deal with this thing coming at me, and the muscles kind of lose their and you'll go all weak and you go limp, and so it looks like you're dead, which actually is really effective often because the lion will then feel like it's dead meat and it loses interest and leaves it alone. When the impala is left alone, the resolution of the conflict comes, so the second phase of this biological program. And the first thing that happens is the impala raise itself up and then shake. And that is how the muscles go back to the original state. They shake off the original conflict. That's what I'm doing. I'm shaking off a lot of conflicts. And as you see, there's a lot going on with my head and neck. That was a nice one. Because I had a number of head traumas. It's affected my whole body right now. Right now, the tremors are happening a lot in my left leg at the moment, especially behind the knee. And then it's making this release. So this is my life at the moment, day and night. But it's been like this for 6 months. It's not been like this. It's been in different phases. But these are many conflicts over many years. The first one that came to memory when all of this kind of shit hit the fan in July, and I started going into the memories of all of these, some memories that I had erased from conscious memory. The first one that came was a fall that I had when I was a baby, when I was around 1 year old, and rolled off the bed and fell and hit my head a couple of times. and then another hitting my head when I was 4, and then another episode, and then another one some years ago, and then in 2020 when I fainted and I fell on my left side and smacked my head. And so, yeah, the third line body takes a licking and keeps on ticking. And this is what the body does to heal itself. And it's scary to get on here and let you see what's happening with me and see this, because this is called disease. This is called a neurological problem. And I don't have a problem, and I don't have a disease. I have a body that heals, like everybody else has a body that heals. It's just maybe, I don't want to say easier for me, but I mean, being splenically defined, there's a natural capacity maybe to be more intuitively in that process and go it alone. I mean, I'm doing this pretty much alone. I do have somebody I talk to from Germanic New Medicine. Germanische Heilkunde is the name in German. I speak to a doctor of chiropractic who changed over to using GNM when he saw that the root of things was that, and not necessarily everything else that other modalities speak about. I talk to him every now and again, just to have the support of somebody who can recognize that this is okay, that this is what healing looks like. And it can feel really sucky. At times it can feel really sucky. I don't really sleep very much because the spasms are happening all night. 6 months straight. It's pretty intense. But I can be much more present now. I have, there was a time where, I'd be really reliving the memories and really reliving the emotions of the memories, the despair, the terror. I had to relive the terror of the baby, the terror of the child, the extreme feeling of aloneness that comes with any biological conflict shock, because you are alone, feel alone in that moment of the conflict shock, in any conflict shock. And so that comes back during the moment of healing, like reliving that emotion, the feeling, reliving the feeling of despair, of being stuck, of this never ending. I mean, some days it feels like this is never freaking gonna end. Am I ever gonna be normal again? Will I ever be able to live without spasming all the time? Yes, this is temporary. My body doesn't want to do this forever. My body's doing this to get back to feeling good, because I'm splenic. I'm about feeling good. So I watch how it morphs constantly, and I've been watching how it gets deeper into the tissues, and I see my mobility growing over time as the spasms release tissues, which allows the joint mobility to be better. It's not fun. It's not fun. But let me just demystify healing a little bit. It's not necessarily a fun process. I see it as like, if you go to the splenic side of the body graph, if you're in the solar plexus side of the body graph, you have pleasure and pain, right? On the splenic side, you have feel good, feel bad, and they're both healthy. That's the myth is that when you feel bad physically, you're not healthy. That's not true. That I've found that's not true. For me, that's not true. It can be true for you. I don't care. But for me, I've found that that's not true. And with using Germanic New Medicine, I can see that this is healthy. It feels like crap. But it's the health of my body pushing towards the feel good. It's resolving the original conflict shock. It is the resolution to get back to the homeostasis of tissues that move fluidly and not like this. It's not, it's not a lifelong sentence of what could be called, if I went to see conventional medicine people could be called a number of things. What comes to your mind when you see this? What are the names? Could be called all of those things. It's not. It's not that. It is the second part of a biological program. It's the healing part. The spasms are the release and the resolution of a feeling stuck motor conflict, a self-devaluation feeling stuck motor conflict. I lived a lot of different events where I felt stuck and I couldn't move. I couldn't move to save myself. I couldn't move to stop the fall. I couldn't move to stop my head from getting bashed. I couldn't move to get out of a sexual trauma. All of these kind of compiled in my tissues over the years. And somehow, I don't know, I don't fully understand this, but like, now I can look back and I can see the different, when I would go through hip pain and pain in different places and things, I could see like my body's been trying to heal for years. And never had the space to really do it. And life has moved me into a very quiet place, and I don't just mean like where I live, but yeah, where I live, I mean it's not super quiet, but it's like I'm taken care of, like I'm taken care of. Right now I'm taken care of. It's just like I feel so taken care of by life. I have everything I need, and I stopped everything I was doing. I'm not teaching or anything. So that my body could just go through this without the stress, and life had brought me the financial support I needed to be able to do that without the stress of how am I going to pay the bills. It's like life brought all this together and was like, now we're doing this thing. That's how I feel like now we're really doing this thing. However long it takes. So far 6 months. I don't know how much longer. Yeah. But in the meantime, I've learned how to embroider. I've learned how to sew. I'm learning how to sew. I've been doing a lot of puzzles. And I can be more present now. So I actually got a couple invitations for some human design sessions. Couple. And my body moved. Yes. Said yes. And so that was really delightful to work with a couple people last week. So who knows? But it feels like, okay, I can. For a while, it was I could only really be like in this. And now, like, look at me, I can tremor and I can talk to you. I couldn't do that before. Very well. I'd be very caught up in the emotions of what was coming out of my tissues. Ooh, I don't know if you heard that one, but sometimes it gets really noisy in here. So this is what it looks like. Yeah, it's scary to put this public. Am I even going to put it public? I don't know. I'm filming it. Sometimes I just need to film or speak to hear myself. But I felt the movement after reading that post of what my friend posted about a projector, which I feel like she was referring to what we had. We met each other in classes with Alok and Andias, where Alok spoke about the projector is very vulnerable in the form. I don't have any motors defined personally as a projector. I feel that. I feel constantly energy slapped when I go out there around the streets, the world, whatever. Yeah, I mean, which we could go into that. Like, can see how that led to so many issues I had in the past, and biological conflict shocks of just being in the wrong place at the wrong time and getting energetically slapped around. But the projector is very strong in the spirit. We are strong in our spirit. We feel like aliens, I was listening to somebody speak about this the other day, but actually I'm not an alien. I'm an alien to this society, yes, but in this earth, I really feel like I belong in the earth. To life, yeah. There's something about really belonging to life. I don't feel like I belong to society. I don't feel like I belong to countries or nations or this, that, or, community. I mean, I say communities because I'm not a community person, but I don't feel like I belong in, so much with people. I don't mean it like that. I just mean I see that I'm an alien in that. When we look at it from how is society structured, I mean it from that. Like, yeah, I'm an alien. But I belong the same way the trees belong the same way. Flowers belong the same way. Butterflies belong. There I feel that I belong here to life. And look at me. I'm doing what life does. Regenerate. Regenerating tissues. Even without a sacral. It's not an energetic thing. It's an alive thing. It's what the form does, is the form lives until it dies. No more words. Let's see if I put this up for you to see me. I don't know.